it's really an honor mga kasangbahayan na ipakilala sa inyo once again ang ating suki. Love na love natin ito. Syempre, masarap tong kausap ha. And we're talking about Miss Sheila Viesca. Siya po ay isang personal effectiveness coach and corporate communications guru. Good morning, Miss Sheila.
Hi, Ma'am Sheila. Good morning.
Good morning, Tita.
Good morning.
Angel and Rina. Good morning, Kuya.
Nako, napakaganda ng ate. Siyempre, it's always nice to have you on the show, Miss Sheila. And napakaganda, diretso na tayo sa ating pag-uusapan para mas marami tayong mapag-aralan dito sa ating pag-uusapan. How to deal with criticism. Diba? Gaano po ba ka-importante o gaano po kahalaga ang ating pag-deal, diba, dito sa criticism ni Sheila?
Yes. Thank you, Angel. So, sabak na tayo agad. Criticism is a valuable method kasi dito tayo nakakuha ng feedback kung paano tayo mag-i-improve. And hopefully, lahat ng nakukuha nating criticism are constructive. But that's not the reality. The manner that by which they are given would normally affect our reactions to them. Kaya lahat tayo kailangan natin ng mga tools and techniques on how to give constructive criticism, especially if it is in the work setting or an environment where we have a personality in the matter. May pakialam tayo. So, ang basic definition of criticism, according to Oxford, is the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. Kaya medyo there's a delicate consideration here. Kasi hindi ka naman magbibigay ng criticism if everything is fine and going well. And normally, by the definition alone, alam natin na may negative perception. So again, based on the delivery, that criticism that's well-meaning can end up being destructive.
Okay. So, paano po yun? Ano po ba yung first step na kailangan nating gawin? When, kunyari, in a workplace or any environment, makarinig po tayo ng criticism. And syempre, iba pa rin yung usapin na is it really constructive? How would you determine if your criticism that you received is constructive or alam mo na,
Pang-atake pala, no?
Oo, yung personality pala ng kabilang nagbibigay sa'yo ay, alam mo yun, wala lang magawa sa buhay. No?
Pagkatao mo yung titirahin.
Ang kanyang daily routine is mag-criticize, parang gano'n. So, how would you determine and how would you react, Miss Sheila?
Okay. Yeah. Mamaya pupuntahan natin yung personality of the criticizer or gossip. Oo. Pero ngayon, ang tatanungin muna natin sa sarili natin, kung may pakialam tayo sa sitwasyon, how do you express something negative positively? So, ang key dito is, of course, to sound encouraging kasi may sisitahin ka, may pupunahin ka, and to focus on using constructive words. Kasi nga, problema yung tatalakayin mo. But you don't want to focus too much on the problem kasi you are dealing with a human being who needs encouragement. Alam mo na may mali, may kailangang solusyonan. Then therefore, your language should offer support, help. It should not bring the person down. And if there's a possibility of doing that, kailangan deliberate ka in putting that in a positive light. Kung may paraan para i-compliment mo yung maganda, yung tinatawag nilang sandwich effect, positive and then improvement, positive, that's very helpful. Kasi this is a sensitive issue and you don't know how the other person will perceive that communication. No matter how right you are, you can end up sounding wrong.
Ma'am Sheila, is it the same formula na sinasabi mo, especially right now for the politicians, no? Because it's the upcoming election. So I'm sure they will receive a lot of criticisms from the opposition, kung sino man yung mga kalaban nila. Is it the same formula po ba yung kailangan gamitin po nila to be able to deal with the criticisms?
Okay. Ang nakikita nating formula na nag-work among politicians these days is the no reaction formula na not necessarily helping. Kasi if there's a criticism that need to be taken into account, then ang dapat mangyari dito is for honest, open communication to happen. Tapos, deliberate and specific steps to be taken. Pero kung ang naririnig mo is not necessarily coming from a person who has a role in the situation, then himayin mo kasi malamang naman to either gossip lang that you're not supposed to be minding, or destructive comment or propaganda na pag pinatulan mo naman, mas matutulungan sila kaysa ikaw. So, always ask yourself, ano ba yung point ng taong to at sino ba yung taong to sa buhay ko at sa sitwasyon ko? And therefore, you would know how to distance yourself from that statement, or kung kailangan mong sagutin, then you can respond intelligently and sensibly.
I love it. Speaking of reaction, yung pag-react natin sa ganyan, yung intelligently and sensitively, Miss Sheila, paano ba yan? For example, ayan, kinriticize ka, sabihin na natin na going below the belt na, dahil nga nabanggit ni Rina yung eleksyon, kasi alam mo naman, kaliwat kanan yung ganyan, How do you respond to that without actually, playing the game, without na kung babatihin mo ko ng ganyan, I'm not gonna stoop down your level. How do you actually how do you react that way? Parang napakadali kasing sabihin, pero parang alam mo yun, iniisip ko kung ako yung mailalagay doon sa ganung posisyon. Baka mamaya kasi patulang ko, mamaya maging patola ako, 'di ba? Ayoko naman.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question, Kikay, because everything about our reaction matters. So, whatever is said against you, kahit kasinungalingan pa yan, or it's a half-truth, can definitely be amplified kung mali yung pag-respond mo. So the first reaction is a non-reaction. First response is no response. Kasi before you say anything, hinga ka muna ng malalim, you have to pause. You know that whatever response you give is going to be subjective, and you may end up regretting it in the end. So that moment between the pause at yung pag-iisip mo, that will allow you to find your composure, so that when you respond, you're not taking it personally. Kasi titignan mo kung ano yung intention ng tao, at kung masama man yung intention, then you would be able to highlight kung ano yung maganda sa'yo, maganda sa karakter mo, as you process this criticism, and give yourself that opportunity to respond or conduct yourself with grace. Yan. Hindi rin masama naman na idagdag mo yung appreciation kung alam mong may konting katotohanan dyan, kasi pinag-aksayahan ka ng panahon at ng talk time niya. Yes. Oo. And as far as the audience is concerned, the voters are concerned, we want to see, of course, humility, especially if the person is under attack. Diba? Kung hindi mo magagawa yan and you end up dwelling on criticism, ikaw yung magiging talo. Kasi if the person has ill intention, then definitely that's what they want from you. Na mag-react ka na mag-react, mag-dwell ka dun sa criticism, patulan mo, then you don't get to improve the situation for yourself.
So, is it also healthy, Miss Sheila, na to, let's say, for example, for a certain personality, to block yung mga criticism, borderline bashing, and instead, listen na lang doon sa mga criticism ng people that matter to you?
I like that.
Definitely. Definitely, Angel. Kasi may mga toxic criticism naman talaga eh. Resulting from immaturity, like desperate lang yung tao na mapansin. May mga mema. Or, diba? Or embellishment or entitlement. Oo. Feeling lang nila, meron silang personality dyan at kailangan silang magkomento. There are also criticisms from people who could possibly be emotionally violent. Kaya, bakit ka magre-respond? Alam mo na magiging grabe lang yung sitwasyon pag pinatulan mo. So normally, the nature of someone who's prone to giving criticism and therefore spreading gossip, kasi wala naman siyang lugar dun sa sitwasyon na yun, these are people who are insecure, parasitic, looking for attention, at nangyari lang, ikaw ang nandyan sa harap nila, ikaw yung pwede nilang gawa ng ingay. Kaya we have to also mind kung sino yung pinanggagalingan ng gossip and how to distance ourselves.
Totoo ka dyan.
Protect our
Kasi minsan
reputation.
parang inggit lang pala sa'yo yung tao kaya kung ano-ano
Oo.
sinasabi sa'yo.
Yung
Panira lang.
di ba? Habang pinapakinggan ko si Miss Sheila, marami akong mga nai-imagine na talagang they don't miss any detail sa'yo, Medyo sa physical man o sabihin natin yung mga mannerism. Wala talagang pinapalampas yung mga ganyan.
Be thankful kasi lahat ng oras nila nasa iyo.
Daming
Ikaw,
time.
Oo. At
My universe.
correct, nadadagdagan mo
Correct,
yung self-image nila because their opinion of you makes them feel better about themselves. And that's none of your
Totoo.
business. Kaya wag mo nang patulan. Nakakatulong ka lang sa tao, yun ang isipin mo. That's
Mas
the truth.
pinapasikat mo pa siya.
Sheila. Oo. What if it happens within your close circle? Like for example, di ba yung small friends mo, do you need to talk to that person who gave you that criticism or how will you handle it? Kasi sabi mo, medyo toxic na kapag big group na, di ba? Huwag mo na lang pa rin. Sabi ni Angel, pwedeng i-block mo yung iba, di ba? But if it's a small circle, how will you handle it? Do you have to talk to the person or confront the person? Paano po?
Siguro ang nasasabi natin ditong criticism, Rina, bordering on gossip na, di ba? Kung hindi siya nakakatulong, and these are nasty comments about you, you don't want to take them lying down. Lalo na kung yung taong to malapit sa'yo, within your circle, dahil katrabaho mo, or kakilala ng mga kakilala mo. Of course, one, you have to say something polite, yet direct. Huwag mo nang gawa ng paligoy-ligoy kasi when you do, mas dinadagdagan mo yung fuel na pwede nilang i-spread. And then, the second consideration is, there's a chance that this person who seemed to be spreading the rumor about you may not even be aware of it. Ganun lang yung tendency niya, ganun yung communication style niya, o may napagsabihan siya, tapos bumalik sa kanya. So, clarifying the situation, expressing your disappointment, will allow this person to realize how wrong they have been, and then they will have the opportunity at the same time to rectify what they have done and what they have caused to you.
And also, Sheila, understand, being able to understand yung mga dinidiscuss niyo po sa amin kanina, I see na siguro kapag first criticism sa'yo, ang unang gagawin is calm yourself, understand the situation, at siguro magpa-thank you, depende rin kasi I remember lalo na nung bago-bago pa ako sa UNTV and until now like yung mga I treat people like my mentors, like sila Kuya, yung mga mas nakakatanda sa atin, and I am really grateful, like sila Ate Ella, sila Sir Flor, ganyan, 'di ba? And I'm really grateful na kunya sasabihin nila, dapat ganito yung gawin mo, yung ganyan, kasi I respect them. So I take the criticism constructively.
Yes.
Instead of feeling na offend ka, o feeling na parang ang sensitive mo, ganyan. So paano po ba 'yon? Hindi ko alam yung paano po ba natin, let's say for example, for a certain person that is very sensitive, hindi po lahat pare-parehas tayo na nagiging reaction. And even if you say it's constructive criticism, at some point may kurot na parang na-hurt ka dun sa sinabi niya. But how do you deal with that?
Yes. So, Angel, maganda yung first point na sinabi mo. I think that's the first rule of thumb, lalo na given the reality na wala namang nag-i-enjoy na tumanggap ng criticism kasi napupuna tayo.
Laging may sakit, may kirot.
Oo, lagi talagang may kirot, may kurot. Right? But you have to think the best of the critic. Kasi kung ito yung supervisor mo or person you look up to,
may
a
respeto
potential
ka
mentor, this person was interested enough in you to take time para bigyan ka ng directions, bigyan ka ng reminders. Yes,
help you.
Correct. So, to help you grow at para mag-improve ka. So, you want to be able to look at this person as someone who means well. Kasi pag lagi kang attack mode, whenever you hear something negative, hindi ka mag-grow in your situation. We are usually blind to our own faults. We need that kind of
Totoo,
intervention from a caring coworker or supervisor, a caring friend, to point to us kung paano tayo magko-correct ng errors natin or mag-i-improve sa performance.
I love it.
Oo. Siguro parang it's always, siguro yung mindset mo, 'di ba? Dapat laging you're always listening to others kasi when you just talk, you don't learn anything new. When you listen, you learn something new, 'di ba? Lagi naman nila sinasabi 'yun. And yun, ganun siguro dapat lagi ang mindset natin and being able to be thankful doon sa person na nagsabi. And in that way siguro hindi mo na siguro yung mindset mo din aside from that also yung dapat hindi mo iisipin na magaling ka na sa iba.
Oo. Totoo.
No?
Totoo.
Yes.
Kasi kapag sigurong lagi ang isip mo, mas magaling naman ako dyan bakit niya ako pinupuna, yung gano'n. Siguro yun yung parang isang maling pag-accept ng criticism and hindi ka makamove forward because of that
Totoo.
attitude.
Lalo-lalo na kapag alam mo mas malayo na yung narating, mas mataas na, mas marami na experience yung nagsabi nun sa'yo, no? Good point ka dyan, Tita Angel, Miss Sheila, bring up ko lang, dahil alam mo naman, mamaya makalimutan ko na naman ito. Do you agree with the saying na kasi somebody once said to me na you praise publicly and then criticize privately. Meron bang katotohanan yun?
Yes. For sure, Kikay, that's a wise point to interject here. Kasi given the sensibility of situations that we would like to address, magandang hilahin mo muna sa isang corner in private yung taong gusto mong bigyan ng criticism, and usually this happens during a one-on-one meeting or in a phone call, pwede rin in the form of a letter na hindi naman naka-anunsyo sa lahat because you want to give that person diba? You want to give that person the space to process what needs to be improved, what you want to address. And then, of course, yung complimenting the person in public, that gives the person the boost, the motivation. He or she ends up feeling better about himself, about herself, and that helps in you being able to connect better with this person kasi kailangan mo ng certain level of influence. And if the person ends up liking himself, he ends up liking you, then mas madali kang makakonect and makapag-establish ng rapport. Remember, no matter how right you are, if people don't want to listen, then you're that one voice na nag-aaksaya lang ng oras at panahon. Wala kang magandang maitutulong. People will not be influenced by you. So tama yung point na yan, Kikay. And I would definitely recommend that, especially in the work setting.
Can you also say, Ma'am Sheila, that dealing with criticisms comes with age? The more that you mature in age, the more that you can handle criticisms compared dun sa mga younger people talaga natin. Kasi when you see younger people right now and then when criticisms get to them, parang parang patol sila ng patol pag gano'n. Pero kapag medyo mature ka na, pag medyo mature ka na ba, can you really handle or deal criticisms well? Does it come with age?
Yeah. Definitely, Rina, magandang factor na pag-usapan yan because the way we feel about criticism definitely comes with age or our level of maturity. That is greatly affected by our exposure, by our age. So, it boils down to self-awareness. Bakit? Kasi defensiveness is natural lalo na pag may pinakikinggan tayo na alam natin may konting katotohanan or may buong katotohanan, we are genuinely hurt by critical comments. So, in order to move past that, kailangan alam natin yung sarili natin, alam natin yung nagawa natin, and we can reconcile kung ano yung pwede nating baguhin. But without that certain level of maturity that comes with age, self-awareness, discernment, hindi natin maibibigay ng tama yung gusto nating i-communicate at hindi rin tayo magkakaroon ng madaling processing Kasi wala tayong points of reference eh. Kung bakit ba nangyari yan at bakit natin naririnig to from other people.
Okay. So pero no, parang I therefore conclude, sabi nga nila, ang itong dealing or accepting criticism is a life skill. Kasi ang daming mga sinabi ni Miss Sheila, 'di ba? Yun nga, yung wag ka, be calm first, wag ka masyadong magre-react right away, understand the situation. Tapos siguro mainam din po no magtanong ka, mag-seek ka ng details about the criticism. And in that way, you'll be able to handle kung ano man yung criticism. Otherwise, kasi kapag hindi ka nagtanong ng clarity, hindi ka naghingi ng clarity, hindi mo alam kung tama ba yung gagawin mo the next time, no, Miss Sheila?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And in addition to that, Angel, may katotohanan yung feedback culture. Within an organization or in a community, kahit gaano natin kaalam to, the feedback culture is created by our leaders, by our employers. Now, hopefully, they understand the power of clear and articulate communication. Na ang focus natin should be on issues, on problems that can be addressed and not on the personality. Kasi pag ganun yung kultura, na nag-focus tayo on what we can improve, then definitely, eventually, kung ano man yung binibigay natin that can be misconstrued or taken personally, makikita rin na, maganda pala yung intention to. In the long run, nakakabuti. But if the culture is attacking the person, and not focusing on what can be improved, hindi natin nare-recognize kung ano yung gusto nating kunin from the person and definitely superficial lahat yung nangyayari. Puro paninira, puro pamumuna, puro commentaries that simply led to gossip, unnecessary chat na hindi nakaka-uplift
Nagiging toxic.
ng level ng correct, nagiging toxic kasi hindi uplifted yung kultura within that company or that community. So there is hopefully something that we can learn also for our country na kung meron tayong feedback, meron tayong mga opinion, we focus on what we can improve. Kung mag-contribute tayo ng criticism and we don't have a personality in the story, huwag nating dagdagan based on opinion, pero talagang himayin natin kung ano yung nangyari. Oo. At i-distance natin pansamantala yung opinion natin para makita natin ng buong-buo yung katotohanan, yung realities that we have to deal with.
Go
ahead.
Ay, hindi, para siguro mainam offer a solution as well, no? Hindi yung puro yung if you're on the other side of the fence, you're the giver of the criticism, you offer a solution as well. So, hindi lang yung basta ba yan, yung ganun, di ba? Gawin mo ng maayos, no? Para naman talagang masabi natin constructive yung criticism, hindi yung basta empty criticism na maka-criticize ka lang. And Miss Sheila, go ahead.
Parang I've noticed this is also applicable dun sa mga businesses, no? To help themselves grow also dun sa kanilang mga businesses. Especially dun sa mga new, kaka-establish pa lang, kaka-open na businesses. What they do is to give you mga feedback form, no? So they know how they serve well to the people. Otherwise, their business will die if they're, di ba, kung hindi nila nakukuha yung customer nila, di ba? So it's also good na they do it sa kanilang mga customers.
Two-way street. Tsaka alam mo, dagdag ko na din, Rina, Tita Angel and Sheila. Lagi ko itong sinasabi, alam mo naman, kapag nititisize ang lola nyo, no, di ba, ang inyong lingkod, na you should always attack the issue and not the person. Because, when you do that, because the reason why you're pointing out these things is because may nagawa yung tao, but not the tao per se. Kasi yung tao is, syempre, di ba, mali mo hindi niya alam di ba? You attack what's going on, not the person. Because if you attack the person, that you're pulling them down. And
personal na yun.
Oo, yun na yung pamimersonal. Yun na yung tinatawag natin yung inaatake mo na. Wag natin tirahin natin yung issue. Wag yung tao, di ba? Yung nagawa ng tao, pero hindi yung tao. Di ba?
Yes.
Yun.
Yeah.
Pero Miss
So,
Sheila, paano po ba yung, di ba sabi po nila, do not compete with others and the only competition you should be in is with yourself, compete mo. So, okay lang po ba? Is it healthy that, let's say, for example, ikaw mismo talaga look back on the works that you did, and then dun ka magkuha ng mga parang ma-criticize mo sa sarili mo. Tapos, doon ka makapag-improve. Say, for example, di ba, watching yourself, like, kunyari, ikaw, nasa TV ka, tinignan mo yung mga ginagawa mo. Minsan makikringe ka kasi doon sa mga nasabi
Mga
mo,
moments, no?
na, mali pala yung sinabi ko, ganyan.
Wala sa lugar.
And then, and from that point, gawa ka na ng solution. So, okay lang po ba? Is that healthy? Or you're being too hard on yourself naman?
For sure, Angel, but that comes with self-awareness. Kasi kung hindi ka self-aware, medyo pag kinorek mo yung sarili mo or pag may nakita ka, kulang. That's why criticisms are helpful. And the reality is, criticisms are a way of life. Nandiyan na yan, kahit saan tayo magpunta, kahit saan tayo magtrabaho. So we have to make them work for us. Pag meron kang narinig na ukol sa trabaho mo or sa nasabi mo, avoid making assumptions. Tingnan mo muna yung mga facts, yung mga specific topics. Tapos, tama yung nabanggit mo, Angel, ibangga mo sa how you evaluate yourself or your performance. Also, do not jump to conclusions or presumptuous attitude. Kasi baka atakihin mo yung tao na meron lang naman na sinabi out of that person's good intentions to help you improve. It's definitely important that, when we manage criticism, alamin natin muna kung ano yung role ng tao at ano yung role natin in that situation. Paano natin ma-uplift yung situation for everyone else who's affected by what is being discussed. Yan. Sa mga pagkakataon naman na tayo talaga yung may karapatan na magbigay ng criticism. Tama yung nabanggit ni Kikay. Do not criticize the person or what they believe. Criticize yung observable actions, yung behaviors na pwedeng mabago. At wag mo nang i-drag up yung old events kung magbibigay ka ng criticism kasi focus on what is current, on what is relevant. Tapos, doon natin umpisahan para magkaroon ng clarity kung ano ba talaga yung kailangang pag-usapan.
So kami, Sheila, lastly, before we ask for your contact details, naisip ko lang din po na sa other issues like ito, kunyari, politics, life skills, work, ganyan. It's really understandable and acceptable somehow na meron talagang magkikriticize sa'yo for your growth, for your learning, improvement, yung mga ganun. Pero parang napapansin ko na parang big no-no or parang may sensitive touch yung halimbawa if you're a parent and another parent criticize you from parenting your child, no? Parang hindi nagiging maganda yung reaction ng receiver of the criticism. So, how do we deal with that, Sheila?
Thank you, Angel. Babalik tayo dun sa pinakauna nating pinag-usapan. Stop your first reaction. Stop your first response. You have to maintain a calm demeanor. Kasi wag mo nang dagdagan yung issue. There's a good chance there's a person who means well, hindi lang niya alam kung paano niya sasabihin sa'yo yung i-articulate yung concern niya. And if that's not the case, the person has just revealed himself or herself to you. Now you know how to keep distance. Then the other one is, of course, be a good listener para makapag-focus ka kung ano talaga yung pinanggagalingan ng comment or criticism. Ano ba yung perspective ng taong to? Baka nga may naobserbahan siya na hindi mo alam or hindi ka masyadong klaro. And then, of course, be able to say thank you. Whether you mean it or not, that shows grace. Diba? Yung ability mo to demonstrate gratitude allows that person to see that you recognize kung ano yung efforts niya. Good or bad, at least hindi nakaapekto sa routine mo kung ano yung negativity that's brought about by this criticism from a person who does not even have a personality in your personal life.
Ayun. So,
Perspective, ha?
siguro parang in a nutshell, no matter how bad or good yung
Criticism.
yung criticism, there's somehow parang there's still a good in that message that you can learn from it, no? Always think that way. Ayun! Naku,
Diba?
dami natin natutunan.
Ganda,
Oo. Miss Sheila, dun po sa mga kasambahay po natin na very interested dun po sa mga workshop na ino-offer ninyo about life skills and others, paano po kayo mag-contact?
Thank you very much. Angel, Rina, Kikay, always a pleasure to be here. To the viewers who are always tuned in to UNTV, they can get in touch with us at Talkshop, talkshop.ph to check out all the courses, and call us at 0917-894-5588 or 0917-877-5588 for consultation and to check the schedule. So we have regular workshops, classes, coaching sessions for individuals, executives, and students who want to take programs in personal effectiveness, communication skills, leadership training, and handling criticism to be more effective in their work setting and social engagements.
Thank you so much, Miss
Thank you,
Sheila.
Ma'am Sheila.
Enlightening topic na ma-apply natin sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay, di ba? Sikat ka man o hindi, politiko ka man o hindi. Thank you so
Correct.
much.
Oo.
Happy Wellness
Thank
Wednesday.
you.
Last
Take care,
point
Ma'am
pala.
Sheila.
Oo. Last point, Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Apo.
Kaya when dealing with criticisms, do not react with anger, do not attack the person, do not overanalyze, and refrain from engaging in combative communication or responses. So, Happy Wellness Wednesday is every day.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it right there. Totoo. Huwag natin sirain yung sarili nating amal. Diba?
Distance yourself from your initial emotional response.
Yes,
Ano?
yes,
Yung
yes.
physical at social
Control
distancing.
yourself.
Totoo. Totoo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ma'am
Thank
Sheila.
you.
Thank
Bye
you.
po.
See you next
Gusto ko
week.
See you again next week.